Hey Burbank 5th graders, this is Mr. Huang again, and today we're going to start working on lesson 3 for our word in 1 point perspective. In lesson number 1, we first made a word in box letters. In lesson number 2, we added corner points to each one of our letters on our word, and we connected it to a point called our vanishing point. So notice this is the end of lesson 2 right here. You should have your box letters all written out with little corner points just to help you out. And these orthogonals, these are called orthogonals, these lines that go from each corner of the letter to the vanishing point. Today, I'm going to encourage everybody to be very patient with this part of the project because this is the most difficult part of the project. So we're going to work this project one letter at a time. And there are many ways to do this part. If you looked up different demonstrations online on YouTube, for instance, you may find different ways to do it. But I want to just make sure that we're doing it one letter at a time just to learn the process. So first, I'm going to start with my first letter H right here. Now, I encourage you to start with 1 point and just put maybe a B really close to it as our beginning point. That's also going to be our ending point. But the reason why I want to put a B right here is just to show you that we're going to work from 1 point to the next point to do the next step. And we're going to walk around from point to point. And connecting 2 points is a line. So we're basically going to go from point to point, line to line, all the way around our letter in order to keep up with completing our words in 1 point perspective. So let me go ahead and get started explaining. So I put a little B right here as our beginning point. The reason why I want you to begin it this way is because I want you to move around the letter from point to point. And you're going to see a line that connects those points right here. For this one, since you don't see an orthogonal from this point, we're going to skip over to this one. Now from this point, we're going to move from this point to the next point. So going down is a line connecting those 2 points right here. And I'm going to do it in a different color just so you can see as I go along point by point. So I'm going to use a red marker right now just to make it easier for you to see. So for every line that connects the 2 points as you're moving around each letter, you're going to need a parallel line to this line. A parallel line is a line that runs side by side to a line that would never touch if they were keep on going. If each line were to keep on going, they would never touch. So I can see right here, this is just simply a straight vertical line. So I need to match that, connecting the orthogonals coming out of those points. Remember, these are orthogonals, lines coming out of those points toward the vanishing point. So I need to connect these 2 orthogonals with the line that's parallel to this red line I just drew. So it's just simply a straight line like this. And these 2 are parallel because they would never touch each other if they kept going. Okay? So that's the first point. Now I'm going to move from this point to the next point right here. So once again, I'm going to trace that with the red marker so you can follow along. And to match this line, I need to go back to where I started before and connect it with a parallel line. So my next line will be parallel to this red line. So I connect it to the last line I drew right there. So this is what I've added so far to my project. See my 2 L's, it looks like the letter L, capital letter L, are parallel. Then I'm going to move to this one to this one, this point to this point on my letter H. But if you notice, there's no orthogonal coming from this point, so I can skip this. So I'm going from this point to this point now. So I'm going to highlight that. And I need to make a line that's parallel that matches these 2 points that come from this orthogonal. So I'm going to make, it's just a straight horizontal line now. So I'm just going to go like that. That's the line right here. It's a thin line that matches that. Okay. And then I'm going to move from this point on my H down all the way to the bottom of my H down here. And once again, I'll trace it just so you can see. Okay? And so I need to make a line that matches this. So here it is. And notice, once it hits a letter, you can stop. So it hits the O right here at the top. So I can go ahead and stop. Okay? And I'm just going to move around the letter H. So I'm going from this point to this point now. You don't see the orthogonal sum coming out, so I don't need to do that step. This, I'm going to keep moving around the H, this point to this point. Once again, you don't see the orthogonals going, so I can keep on going. This point to this point. Once again, still no orthogonals because it's going through the letter. From step 2, we didn't have to draw any. So I'm going to keep going from point to point. And now you can see that there is an orthogonal coming from this point to the vanishing point up here. And it's right here, right? So, just to follow along. Now notice what I'm going to do is, I need a line that's parallel to this line right here that I just drew that's going straight up and down. So, I'm going to connect this orthogonal right here, and I'm just going to draw a line going straight down. So I just drew this line, okay? So notice I can cut this line off right here so I can erase that part. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and connect this right here too. All right? I'm going to keep on going around my letter H from this point to the next point. Once again, there are no orthogonals that you can see, so I can keep on going and tracing around. So this, I'm going to go back all the way to the top, the beginning is also my ending point right there, right? And then I can close it out. That's my first letter, right? But I'm going to finish tracing it out with the red just to close up this letter real quick. And then down here, I had that corner down here. And you can notice down here in the corner, I had a little bit of the H that went to the vanishing point. So that's the first letter. Notice I just moved around the letter, the box letter, from one point to the next. So I'm working with 2 points, and connecting those 2 points is one line. The O on my letter, on my word, which is my last name, is round. So it's a little bit different, but you're still working from point to point. So let's say I start right here at the top of my letter O that's curved. I'm going to put a little B in there as my beginning point, just to show that that's the beginning. So I'm going to move from point to point. So I'm going to work from here to the next point that I have, which is right here. Okay? And I just need to draw a parallel line that matches this, that connects those orthogonals that go to the vanishing point. So I'm going to draw something parallel to that, and it would look like this. And that little line right here would be my parallel to that line. And now I'll move from this point to this point right here. You don't see an orthogonal, so I don't need to draw any parallel line to that. Move from this point all the way around to my next point, which is right here. And once again, you don't see anything, so you don't need to draw a matching parallel line for that either. Now I'm going to work on the inside. Don't forget about the inside of your letters if you have any orthogonals. Right here, there is a little bit of the O I forgot to add right here. This does connect towards the vanishing point. So I do need to draw this little line right here, this orthogonal. So once again, I would do here to here, 1 point to the next point with the line. There's no matching orthogonal yet. But from here back, I would match this part right here with an orthogonal that looks like that. Okay. Kind of just turns into that. Here's just the letter O. And then if you want, I'm just going to go ahead and start closing these letters off so you can see kind of how they're looking at in 1 point perspective. So now I have 2 letters, H and O. Okay. So I'm just going to go through the rest of these letters so you can see that I'm going 1 point to the next point, and then drawing the parallel line to each one of these red lines. So once again on A, I'll put a little B just to show you where I'm starting. Once you get through adding all your parallel lines, you're going to have all these extra lines that you don't need anymore. So this is a step where you actually start erasing the extra parts of the orthogonals that extend beyond the parallel lines that you did. So what I mean by that is I would erase everything that goes beyond what I'm tracing right now. So I can erase all these lines. I'm also going to erase these little B's right here that I have because those were just reference points for this demonstration. You don't want to leave little letters laying around your project. And then you can touch it up however you need to. I did this in marker as a demonstration, but if you're doing it in pencil, you can clean this up even more. So that's where you're going to stop for lesson number 3. Keep trying. I know this is a difficult part of the project. Try your best. Take a look at this video, stop it and check out other videos. The first video I sent you if you need more help. But hopefully, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me on Google Classroom or send me an email if you need to, or just meet me on Zoom for the next office hour meeting that we have. So this is lesson 3. I hope you enjoyed it.